everybody. Welcome to today's episode of the Melissa Killeleagh Show. This is actually a special edition episode. We're actually closing out a chapter here in the beginning of the new year. It's been about 3 years that I've been your host of the Melissa Killeleagh Show, bringing lots of different guests on to share their stories of living life with passion and purpose, and featuring women who are making the world a better place, men who make a difference, new businesses and ventures out and about in the community, and then ideas and inspiration to leave you with. And over time, my message has really been evolving. I'm going to talk more about that in just a minute. But for those of you who don't know me, I have been doing this for about 3 years. And I started doing this podcast shortly after my son was born because I really saw a need to get out and share more of the incredible news that's out there in the world when we're so inclined to tune in to the doom and gloom of, mainstream news, right? And I'm a firm believer that what we allow in between our two ears largely dictates the quality of our life. And so I really wanted to be part of getting messages out there of the things that are happening every single day right here in our community, but also not just in our community, right? So that we could actually start to think a little bit more global, even though we may act local. And so I've brought people in from all over the place, from all over the world, from all over the country, and then certainly featuring a lot of incredible human beings who are living right here in the Finger Lakes, right in the legacy of this area that we live in. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit. I'm going to shorten the show up. You're going to see interviews that really focus in on individual stories. I believe our stories are the most powerful thing that we can share in the world to create more connection and community. And the seed was planted about 5 years ago when I left the 9-to-5 world. I had a 10-year career in finance. And the last 5 years was at Seneca County Division of Human Services. I was a finance manager there. And I decided at a certain point when this side hustle I had been building, my part-time income started to exceed my full-time pay. And I realized that more than anything, what mattered to me was my time and choice and freedom. And so I took a 50% pay cut and said, I'm jumping in, with both feet first into the world of entrepreneurship. So when I stepped away from that world, so began an incredible journey within figuring out, what is it that I'm here to do on this planet? What do I enjoy? Who do I want to surround myself with? What do I want to be reading on a daily basis? How do I want to spend my days? What do I want to feel like? And I really just had a journey of exploration, but pretty quickly thereafter, I also was pregnant for my son, Jack. And at that point, it really became imperative to me that I set aside the life that I had been building for so long. I went to school, got the degrees. When I graduated from my master's program, I was a commencement speaker. I went into my career, climbed, got the raises, did the things that society tells us that we're supposed to do. And I realized that I was building this life that looked great from the outside, but didn't necessarily always feel amazing on the inside. And I wanted to change that because I wanted to make sure that bringing this new life into the world, I wanted to show my son what it looks like to live life with passion and purpose, and to really honor the incredible gifts that we're given when we make our way to this planet, right? So I believe that we each have incredible gifts to share with the world, and it's our duty to live them out, to live out our purpose. So the last couple of years have really been figuring out, what is it that I'm here to do? What are the values that guide me? It was literally establishing this kind of internal GPS to help me make decisions. If someone invited me to be on a board, how would I make that decision? Well, I could, run it by all those values that I stand by. And so over the course of the last couple of years of episodes of podcasts, you see a lot of different shifts of the kinds of people that I'm talking to and the things that we're talking about. It's not just about their details, like where they went to school or what their background is or what led them to their career. It's not just about the very things they're doing in that moment. It's really about like what makes you tick, like what lights you up on the inside, what brings passion into your life, what kind of legacy do you want to live out in your lifetime? And, and having those kinds of conversations, because to me, I believe that's way more important than, how many years you spent at a particular campus, for example. Those things are great. It helps to create connection in lots of other ways. But in this shift of values-driven living, I wanted more. I wanted to go deeper. I was tired of watching the entire world wear this badge of busyness and go running from one thing to the next, which I had done for so long. And I really wanted to think about what it looks like when people are living out the width and the depth of their life, right? And to do that myself. And so as you stay with us and shift, starting next week, we'll be airing our first new episode of this sort of rebranded Melissa Killeleagh Show. And hopefully what you'll see is, you guys, it's not about me. It's not about the message I want to get out there. It's not about the purpose that I'm here to live. It's about showcasing everybody else's, right? And so hopefully you'll stay tuned. Hopefully you'll pop on. The episodes, like I said, are going to be shorter. And so hopefully you can fit them in a more reasonable way. Not everyone wants to tune in for an hour-long podcast, but it'll also be premiering in the evenings. So when people are getting home from work, maybe you'll get a chance to watch that as you wind down your day and bring some positivity to your life. And I would love for you to reach out and share your thoughts, your reflections, your ideas on who might be a great guest for this show, because my goal is to turn over every rock and to keep talking to people and to keep getting inspired by everybody else's story. One of my sponsors of this show is Roger Brooks. He's the owner of American Real. If you get a chance to check him out, it's americanreal.tv. And his motto is that everyone has a story. So it doesn't matter if he's talking to some, famous former NFL player or some homeless man off the street. Everyone has this rich story within them, right? We have this incredibly dynamic inner landscape, no matter what the details of our outside life may be. And he brings that to life. So hopefully over the next couple of years, as we continue on, you'll be seeing this show on a more frequent basis, starting out now with 2 times a month. And I'll be helping to showcase those stories as well. So you guys, I wanted to leave you with one thing to really think about, which is, how are you living out the width and depth of your life? How are you stopping and embracing the moments where you could be a little bit more present with your kids, in your job, in your life, for yourself? How are you honoring the things that you're here to do? How are you showing up fully in all of the spaces that you are obligated to be, whether it's a member of the school board or, on the board of a nonprofit, or you're sitting around the dinner table, whatever the case may be. I want to know how you show up fully in your life, what that looks like. And maybe you want to be a guest on the show. Reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. And hopefully I will be hearing from many of you over the next couple of episodes as you tune in and hear some really great stories and share your feedback. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And thank you for being part of what we're creating here at Finger Lakes One TV. Bye.